Free Cain. Free Cain Velasquez. He's a MMA fighter, or was an MMA fighter. He was a heavyweight MMA fighter in the UFC. And he was a professional wrestler for a while. So the reason I say Free Cain is because he's been arrested for attempting to shoot a pedophile that molested his kid, his 4-year-old daughter, potentially up to 100 times. Believe it or not, he was arrested. The perp was, the pedophile was arrested and released on no bail. This is in California, go figure, right? Apparently Cain Velasquez was taking his daughter to a daycare that was just a house, okay, where this woman took care of like 20 kids, and Cain Velasquez's daughter was one of these kids. So the woman that was in charge of the daycare, her husband apparently was molesting kids there, and apparently molested Cain Velasquez's daughter, 4-year-old daughter, up to 100 times. And this guy was let out on no bail. And can you imagine the anger inside this man's heart? You know what I'm saying? What would you do if your kid was molested? You think, if anybody who's got kids out there, think back to when your child was 4 years old. Could you imagine if your kid was molested even one time? And what would you do? One time is bad enough, but 100 times? Imagine having this information and knowing that the police and the so-called justice system lets this guy out on no bail. What would you do? I think he did what most people would probably do. He lost his damn mind and he went after the guy and tried to kill him. Who can blame him? So they're keeping Cain Velasquez in jail with no bond because he's a threat to the public, they said. He's not a threat to the public. He's a threat to the one man that molested his 4-year-old daughter 100 times. But the pedophile that did the molesting is out, running around, while Cain Velasquez is going to be looking at 20 years potentially. What's wrong with their justice system, guys? It wasn't long ago there was a BLM supporter guy that in Louisville, Kentucky, burst into this guy's office that was running for mayor over there and fired a gun at him several times. Didn't actually shoot the guy, shot through his clothing, but he tried to kill this guy. And this guy gets out on bail with, I think the Black Lives Matter people put up $100,000, and he's out the same day or the next day. So I'm a big MMA fan. I watch a lot of the fights, and I know a lot of the fighters, and I know this story, but most people out here waving flags, they probably don't know the story. They probably don't know who Cain Velasquez is, but I'm gonna ask them what they would do if someone molested their 4-year-old kid and got out on no bond. What would you do if you were sending think back to when your daughter was 4 years old and you were sending her to a daycare, and then you found out that somebody molested your daughter, a man, listen, 100 times. And then he was arrested, and they didn't even let you know, but they released him on no bond. What would you do?
I'd probably be a candidate for jail.
Yeah, well, this guy Cain went after him and tried to kill him. Yeah. Shot at him, missed him, and hit the guy's dad. Didn't kill the dad, but he was aiming for the pedophile, missed him. Cops arrested him, and he's being held with no bail.
I heard that.
Yeah,
that's
you did hear it?
An atrocity.
Yeah,
that is a travesty of justice.
Yeah.
We should have corporal punishment. No, yeah.
Hashtag Free Cain.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He did what any normal person would have done. They'd have lost their mind, grabbed a gun, and went after that dude. Check this out. The guy that molested Cain's daughter was married to the woman who was in charge of watching 20 kids. So he probably molested all those
classic.
kids. Yeah.
That's, I've been doing this work a long time. That's classic.
Yeah. So if you want real justice, throw that guy in a room with Cain Velasquez for, just give him 5 minutes, and then that'll be justice, because he'll choke him to death with his bare hands.
Wait, so
think back to when your daughter was only 4 years old, and just pretend with me. And when your daughter was 4, some dude gets caught molesting your daughter, and you find out that it happened 100 times. And then the guy gets arrested, and then they let him out on no bail.
I'd have killed him.
Yeah.
I'd have killed him.
Yeah. So is it crazy to think that this guy, whose daughter it was, went and got a gun and tried to shoot that dude?
He should have.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't.
He was doing what any probably normal dad would have done, lost his mind and gone after him.
Yeah.
What should happen to a person that gets caught molesting a 4-year-old 100 times?
100 times?
Yeah, apparently, according to the police report.
You don't know.
Kill that sucker?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Only 20 stores were franchises. They closed them. They closed them.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you guys a hypothetical. Do you have kids, Rick?
I do not.
You do not?
I do
okay.
not.
All right, you don't have a kid, but imagine if you had a 4-year-old daughter,
Yep.
and then you find out that she was molested by a guy 100 times, and then the police arrest him, and they let him out on bail. They don't even tell you that. They don't even let you know. They just let him out on no bail.
Democrats, that's what they want.
Yeah.
You know, there's a video out there. Anybody can go on YouTube and see it. There's a guy, his son was molested, and he's at an airport, and they're bringing the guy in. And the cops are with him, and he turns around, he shoots him in the head and kills him.
Yeah.
He was not convicted.
So the guy that I'm talking about is Cain Velasquez. He was the heavyweight champion in the UFC. His daughter was molested
Oh my God.
100 times. This guy was let out on no bond, and Cain grabbed the gun, went over there. The guy was fleeing the house with his father, and he shot 3 times out the window and hit the guy's father and missed him. But he was trying to kill the guy that molested his daughter.
You can understand the rage.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I absolutely understand the
They let
rage.
the pedophile out,
Yeah.
but Cain Velasquez is being held with no bond.
I like the guy in the airport.
Where is this?
California.
California. Okay. California, New York. Same thing.
They're like pedophiles
Yeah.
in California.
I know it.
They're not criminals, otherwise they'd give them, no bond. If you molest a kid 100 times, even once, you don't deserve no bond.
You need to be castrated. Whatever happened to that guy that did that? I saw that video, and that's the way to do it.
It's on the YouTube right now.
You blame Cain Velasquez for trying to kill that dude for molesting his daughter 100 times?
No, he missed. Next time he should aim better.
He's facing potentially 20 years in prison. This is California justice, guys.
I don't think I can convict the guy. I'm sorry he missed the guy, but
He
it's
goes
just-
in front of a jury. They're gonna say no.
Free Cain! Hashtag free Cain!
he needs to go to the range more. That's all.
Yeah. Well, he was in a moving vehicle. They were in a moving vehicle.
It's hard.
And he had a pistol.
Yeah, that's a hard shot.
Yeah. You should have waited, Cain, so you had a better shot.
We got to stand against that.
I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. Do you have kids?
Grown kids and grandkids.
Can you think back? Do you have a daughter?
Yes.
Okay. Think back to when your daughter was 4 years old. And this is a hypothetical now. And you were taking your 4-year-old daughter to a daycare. And then you find out.
It's not very loud.
You find out that your daughter was molested by one of the people at the house 100 times. And the police come and arrest him, and then they let him go on no bail, and they don't even tell you about it. What would you do?
We're making a brand
And
new
I
virus
don't think I could take it. I would have to.
that targeted
What would I do? I mean,
Slavic
it's.
people.
You shoot the guy?
We're making
Yeah,
viruses
I would
that
definitely make
kill
sure he
Slavic
wouldn't do it again.
People of Slavic descent.
Leave it at that.
Yeah. Democrats are nuts. Cain Velasquez was probably a Trump supporter or something, you know what I mean? He's probably a conservative. That's why they're throwing the book at him. Who knows? But if someone molests a kid even one time, you shouldn't get let out on no bond. You should have no bond. You should do prison time for molesting a kid. I don't care. What are Democrats going to do? Try to make rape legal next? Because if a guy is molesting a kid and you let him out on no bond, you're essentially telling the public that it's okay. That is so weird. How did we get here? Democrats are for criminals, man. They're for pedophiles. Some crazy reason. And the only way to cure all of this is to vote red, because conservatives are not for that crap. So everything's on the line come the midterms. So talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, try to educate them on why you shouldn't be voting blue, because if you vote blue, you're voting for the far left weirdos. Follow me on Rumble, guys. I'm not censored there. I got a link. I set up a Give Send Go account specifically for paying for the podcast, the monthly bills that I've incurred of having this podcast. I've been doing it for a year now. We're having a lot of fun doing it. You know, the audience is growing. We're gonna try to keep it up. I'm gonna try to fund it with donations. So look for the link in the descriptions if you're on YouTube. On Facebook, I'll just put the link right in there with the title. So get over to Rumble and follow me there. Do it!